we'll hear from somebody who is a pro that actually can answer this question.
Good football question for Frank Clark, who joins us right now. Hey, Frank, how are you doing? How's practice?
I'm doing well. How you doing?
Good. We were just talking about, and it's a question I'm sure you guys have been discussing all week, how you limit Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
I don't know the answer. I mean, what have you guys been talking? I know that you can only disclose so much, but what does he do well? And as a defense, when you know that they have not only a really dynamic weapon, but like to try to confuse you guys, how do you prep for that?
I think the number one thing is being gap sound. That's one thing that's, very underrated in our league, with the type of style of offense that's going on right now. A lot of running gun, passing, West Coast styles. But it's being gap sound. When you got an offense like that who's very high-powered in everything that they do, a lot of misdirection, that one moment where you miss with the eyes, you miss with your hands, you out of the gap, Christian McCaffrey's going to take off and take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And you also got a guy who does as well in Deebo Samuel, who's just as good at doing that. So, but, it's limiting all the mistakes on our side. Defensively, I feel like that's the first step in doing that before you can even go out there before the ball is hiked. Understanding the play call, understanding the assignment and doing it just like that.
I don't envy you guys. It's not going to be easy.
I'll get to a Niner question after this, man. What about the Wolverines, man? What's going on? How you feeling about the boys in the Final Four?
I'm feeling real good. We got a tough task ahead of us, but I'm sure we'll be able to get it done. I believe we played Bama a few years ago, and they got the best of us. But so I'm sure those guys, still got that taste in their mouth. I got all the faith in the world in our quarterback, JJ. We got Blake Corum. I think he's the best running back in all of college football for the last 2 years, actually. So it's going to be an interesting matchup. You got Bama. Traditionally, they've always been, who they are, Roll Tide. But, one of my best friends, Jaren Reed, he's a fellow, Bama guy. So, we've been all week has been a lot of talks about, this Michigan-Alabama game. Yeah.
Lots of smack talk.
Yeah.
Is there a bet going on?
No bets right now. I'm not sure I can say it'll be the same in the next few days.
I make no promises.
It kind of gets a little bit interesting towards Saturdays, you know what I'm saying? But I'm looking forward to the end of the week for sure.
When there's those kinds of bets and you don't have to divulge because, it's illegal if it's money exchange, is it ever like you have to dress up like a elephant or
yeah, so man,
that kind of stuff?
Let's put it this way: you don't want to be on the losing end of the bet.
Okay.
Usually, you coming in, you wearing the guy's mascot, maybe. You might come in with some type of it's Christmas season, so you might be wearing some a Christmas hat or something. You know what I'm saying? Donning the school colors or something like that. You might gotta, your car might gotta get wrapped in the school color or something like that. It gets deep out here in the NFL.
Worse than money, right?
Worse than money.
That
you know what I'm
is
saying?
worse than money.
Now imagine showing
Shame.
up with a maze.
Yeah.
Wrapped car, in this bright Michigan yellow. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what I'm thinking this year.
Who was the tight end that was here from Oregon? Ed Dixon?
Ed Dixon.
ED.
Yeah.
So Michael Sean Dugar, who's with The Athletic, and I don't think is out there right now, he made a bet with Ed. They had some kind of big game, and Michael Sean's team lost, he's a Coug, and he had to dress up as a duck.
Oh,
the locker room.
So he wore all the duck stuff.
Yeah, you were not here at that time.
Oh,
it was
yeah.
during the time that you were gone, but he was in a rubber ducky head-to-toe outfit. I have a photo of it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Let's talk about just kind of the mentality of the team. I am always curious, and all of us have. These two have obviously played with different versions of Seahawks teams, but the Seahawks teams that we've been covering as reporters has always been like a very successful team, and losing stretches can be tough.
Yeah.
What does a locker room dynamic become like?
It's difficult. I feel like in any team game, it's difficult when you lose because you lose as a team. You don't lose individually.
Yeah.
I think a lot of guys, they see it sometimes as an individual loss when they're not successful or when they don't attain the stat that they, might necessarily be out there, chasing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really an individual loss. I think guys got to understand it's a team loss. Like, it's something that we didn't do as a team, which is why we ended up in this position, and I always said, when a loss involves coaches and players, it doesn't have to, it's not just a player, it's not just a coach, it's not just a guy who might have a penalty late in the game, it's not just a guy who, who's not available, he might got hurt or something, so, we without our best player or something like that. No, it's a team game. That's why football is so, wonderful, because you got to count on 11 guys. And if you add the other 11 on special teams and, defense or vice versa, you count on, 33-something plus guys, 52-man roster just to get the job done day in and day out. And that's a lot of factors that go into that through a week of preparation. So you might be going through a week of preparation, and then do we think that JB is going to get hurt early in the game last week? We don't think that's going to happen, but it happened. Do we think K9's not going to play? We don't know that. You know what I'm saying? You're going through the week, you're going just trying to be as normal as you can. You're trying to compete at the highest level you can and hope that when you get to that game on Sunday that everything falls in place. And sometimes that don't happen, and I feel like that's what happened to us last week. Kind of been happening to us on this stretch where it's like a lot of figuring out, you know what I'm saying? But I feel like once you figure it out, you do figure it out, that's where you can get the ball going.
Now, I never played in a box receiver. I stayed out the box. And I watch what the 49ers do, and there's a lot of just misdirection, trying to get your eyes to go in different places. As a defense, how big is communication when it comes to a game like this? When you got to stay in your gaps, you got to set the edge. I feel like with Dallas, it was more like straight up, straightforward. Like, what's the difference between this week and last week?
I feel like the biggest thing, I said it earlier too, is learning how to play, not necessarily getting caught up in all the misdirection, because that's going to happen. I think they do some type of motion like 90% of the game before every snap. It's some type of movement going on, whether it's a receiver, a tight end, the fullback, 4-4, he's moving. I've played these guys so many times in my career. So, I think I played the 49ers more than any other team in my career. So, but it's just so traditionally, since I've been playing them, it's always been the same thing. They're very good at it. And usually when you're good at something, you tend to work it. Just like the Eagles in the scrum, the scrum deal. It's like they the best team at it. They started doing it first, and they pretty good at doing it. But I don't see San Fran going away from that anytime soon, this misdirection. So I see, you notice the teams that do have success against them, they play them more aggressive. They play them straight up. They taking the fight to them. They're not allowing the misdirection to get them off their game. It is a hard thing to do, as a football player, because you want to make the play. You want to, you see it and you want to go attack it. But you as an offender, you already know, that's what you want us to do.
Right.
That's the name of the game. You get us to look this way, get our eyes going this way, and the ball is all the way down the field already. But I think it's eye discipline. Playing with eye discipline, playing with key discipline, understanding your man, understanding your job, one man, one job. You defeat your man, hopefully, that has an effect on the game.
Frank, you were kind enough to join us just after practice. You haven't had a chance to get snacks. You haven't had a chance to go change. So we're going to let you go. We appreciate you taking the time and making time for us. Thank you so much.